welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. I'm Duck Dealer,
And I'm Pink Piggles.
and well, how was your week?
I had a pretty good week. So we went down to Madison Square Garden on Monday for WWE Raw. So that was fun. We haven't been to the Garden and since 2011 was the last time we were there. So that was fun. Um, had a good time. Ate some snacks. Got some souvenirs. Um, except as Perry says, New York City smells like weed and farts.
I'm surprised. I figured it
So
kind of smelled more like pee. I've heard it smells like pee in a lot of areas in downtown.
It didn't really smell like pee. I
Good.
have been in places where it does. Uh, because people you have to put your garbage out at the curb, so there's like mounds and mounds of garbage.
Hmm.
And then they've got I don't even know what to call them. There was they have like big sewer, like big grates in the ground, like all the steam comes up out of, and
Yeah,
that just when your garbage is near that thing, and then it's just pumping
cleans it
hot
all up.
garbage and yeah.
Oh, that's
But no,
nice.
it wasn't bad. It's just, weed and
That's
farts.
good. That's really
So,
good.
but it was a lot of fun though. And then we got home super late, so it took me like all week to recover. So I was supposed to stream Thursday and I didn't because I was sitting in the recliner with the little kitty cats, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting up. I'm staying here.
Don't blame you.
Yeah,
Yeah, doing things takes a lot out of us as we get older.
yeah. How was your week?
Oh, it was pretty good. Pretty uneventful. Didn't do anything this week. Because I'm recovering from the small convention we went to the previous weekend.
Mhm.
So yeah, Drip was like, "Do you want to go do something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll find something to do." Spoiler alert: I didn't find anything to do, and that's okay because I'm still recovering from the previous weekend, walking
Yeah,
around all day long. But unfortunately, because the weather keeps flippity floppiting over here, um, which I know it's not as cold as it gets up north, and I am grateful, but it is really irritating when it's like mm, 48 the night before and then 98 the following day.
yeah,
It
yeah.
really does something to the sinuses.
Yep.
And all of the kids are getting sick, of course. So good time to be had by
Yeah.
all.
I know March is always so tricky, and I hate because we have pretty good weather now, but like
Mhm.
today it was 60, and then overnight it's going to be 30.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, no, just go between 60 and 50, just stay there. But
I
okay,
wouldn't even mind if it stayed in the 90s here because that's normal for us.
yeah,
But pick a weather. Like,
yeah,
pick one. Don't stop it. And of course, it's raining. So, it's probably going to be cool the next day or so and then
yeah.
get nice and humid and hot. What
I
we signed up
saw
for.
I saw a photo of the weather map for down
Hmm.
south. Do I still have this? Oh, I should have saved it because it was entertaining. Um, Hold on, let me scroll up here. Is it on this page? Yes. Hold on, let me see if I could save this photo because um oh yeah. Okay. So now let me desktop. Yes. Okay, can you see the weather
Yeah, let
map?
me. Here, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, we see it now. Nice and big.
Yeah, so the weather map with the giant dildo of rain.
Yep, I see that. Looks good.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and everyone, of course, like, oh, you're gonna have some pretty hard rain, like, just a million jokes, but I thought it was funny. So,
Well,
the,
I definitely have to say it's going to be a hard week for you guys. Puns intended.
uh, yeah.
Hi to the chat. Hi,
Yes.
Timmy. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat already.
Oh, I see that.
Timmy. Game
Timmy.
complainers. Back for the dead. Milfman.
Newsman. Sir X-Men.
Yep, Sir X-Man. Frank.
uh, so, I have to get your opinion on this one because I got opinions on it. Did you
Okay.
see the Snow White trailer? Like, let's forget all the nonsense that Rachel Zegler is for a second. Did you see the trailer for it?
I didn't, and I'll tell you why I haven't watched it.
Mhm.
I don't want to ruin my childhood memories. That's
You
why, like,
can't.
I never watched trailers for like the
Mhm,
live action Lion King, live action Aladdin, all that stuff.
mhm.
Nope, because I want to think of the good animated classic in my head.
I'm gonna help you out with that one.
Okay.
They can't ruin it. It's
Okay.
it's so bad. Like, I've seen I hope it is better, honestly, for their sake, because it looks to me like I've seen better, like, indie movies made loosely based on Snow White, that the costuming was better on, as I'm just gonna the costuming is horrid. I honestly don't even care if they what they do to the story and whatnot. The costumes are absolutely despicable. I couldn't believe that this is a major motion picture
Is it
for this.
because you don't like the style of it, or it's just like the quality of it?
Snow White's dress looks like a Spirit Halloween costume. It looks
Maybe
like
they bought it at Spirit Halloween because I bet you
and it
could buy it there.
oh, yeah, but it's not even like it's it's just really bad. It's just really bad, and her hair looks horrible. I can't the fairest in the land, how? Where? Lord Farquaad in a dress? I don't understand it. It just looks terrible just on that alone. Her hair looks bad and the costume's bad. I can't get over it. And it's like, I don't think that they really have to worry about people being upset about the actresses and things in the movie because, like, the costuming alone is going to. There's only so much our imaginations can stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so I just pulled it up, and when you said Lord Farquaad, you're right. That is what her
God,
hair
I'm
looks like.
sorry.
Yeah. If
It's
they
Lord
would have just
Farquaad's
put
hair.
the little ribbon in her hair, it would have been better, right? Like, because Snow White has the little headband with the red ribbon. If they would have used
It's just
that, it would have
not a
been
good
better.
cut on her. It's not a flattering hairstyle. I don't know if it's the wave and the small curl on the bottom that does it, and it's like it looks like it's like a helmet
Oh.
flat to her head, or I'm not necessarily one to like rag on somebody's hair. My hair is long and I don't do anything with it, so I'm the last person to judge somebody's hairstyle. But you mean to tell me they had hairstylists on set for this? It's a helmet, folks. It's and it looks even worse in the trailer and when she's moving and things. It's just
Oh, can you see her in front of me?
yeah, yeah, it's
I try to make it so like just her head is there.
I'm telling you, the poster is much more flattering than what you see in the trailer.
It is,
You
but even the
have
poster, you're right. That's Lord Farquaad hair.
it's Lord Farquaad, man. It's Lord Farquaad in a dress.
Yeah.
Like, like I said, all the issues they've got going with this movie, they probably should pay more attention to that in itself.
So,
Ferris
not
in the
that I'm one
land.
to talk because I live a life of comfort and not a life of style. I really don't care. But I am amazed at how many famous people have such horrible hairstyles. They have like normal people hairstyles, and I just think if you have all that money and you have access, you don't have to suffer with the rest of us who just go to, get the $20 haircut. Like, you have people to do this for you every day. You could get something good.
You know, I can understand having bad hair days, but I mean, there's an extent to the absolute disaster that can happen for these people.
Okay, this is my
And
hot
yeah, they
take.
pay stylists for this.
Have
I mean, and if
you know
their
Taylor's
stylist is getting ragged.
you know Taylor Swift, right?
Mhm.
She's a billionaire,
Yes.
and she still has those bangs. I it just blows my mind every time I see her. It blows my mind, and I get that she's stuck with whatever hair texture she has.
Mhm.
But she's a billionaire, and those are the bangs that she has. It just kills me. It absolutely kills me.
I think hers, it's more or less not just her just not willing to change her hairstyle, and that's fine. I mean, who knows? Maybe her
But it,
parents,
but it
her
looks.
mom cuts her hair in the kitchen or something.
I hope, because I hope she's not paying a lot of money for that. Yeah, Dred says they're paying $1,000 for a $20 haircut. When I was in college, I interned the county, and this lady who worked there uh, was going through a divorce. So it was like, no one talked about it, but everyone knew what was happening.
Yeah.
So she was telling us after work one day that she was going to get her hair cut, and she spent $500 and she got her hair cut and colored and styled and all this stuff. And she told us all this, everything she's doing. She said it was going to be $500. She came in the next day, and of course, we all told her, like, oh, yeah, you look so great. Dude, she looked exactly the same. She spent $500 and she looked exactly the same.
I've seen that more often than not. It always cracks me up because they charge outrageous prices to dye or perm or anything that chemically touches your hair is just
Yeah.
ridiculously priced. I've actually been charged double because of the length of my hair. I refuse to go to quite a few people because of that reason. Because it's like,
Yeah.
"Why are you charging me twice? You're not cutting I mean, you're just cutting the end of my hair. You're not styling all of my hair." If I go in for a cut, I just go in for a quick cut
I was going to say,
and
do
I
they
leave.
wash it?
No.
Because I say if they wash it, I could see they would charge based on hair
Yeah.
length because
That
that's extra time.
that would make
Wash and
sense.
dry. But
Yeah, if I
cutting,
were
yeah, you're
dyeing
right.
everything.
Cutting is not any different.
Yeah. And the
So
worst part is I have to stand up for my haircuts. It's like I'm getting charged double to stand for a haircut.
I never even thought about that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, because the way the hair lays, I
Okay.
can't sit in a chair.
So what do they do for people who like there's not a lot of people, but there's people who have hair like down to their ankles. What do those people do?
They don't cut it. Either they don't cut it or they cut it themselves. Once it gets to a
Okay.
certain length like mine, you either cut it yourself, have someone close to you cut it, or you just don't cut it.
And true, I
Like,
guess if your hair's at your ankles, how's anyone to know if it's crooked?
yeah, I
Right.
mean, a lot of times, once my hair is a certain length, if I leave my hair long, I'll trim it myself or I'll have,
Yeah.
like, one of my moms do it or something. Because again, I get charged double to stand for a
Yeah.
haircut. And my hair is so long, if it is slightly off, who's gonna notice? I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's too
Sir
long to care.
Sir X-Man said, "You know how much a haircut costs for me? Nothing, because I shave bald." And
That's
he also said up the line, um, we were talking about Snow White's horrible hair. Her hair is better than Snow White in the series Once Upon a Time.
mm, that is true. That is true. But that is very, very loosely based on any of those characters. So, I mean, that's a little more passable. And to be frank, they never really dressed any of the characters in, like, absolutely correct costumes. I think, like, maybe 3 or 4 of them had somewhat accurate costumes. Otherwise, the rest of them, it was just really loosely based. In fact, Snow White hardly wore dresses in the show, right? Right, yeah.
I I didn't even
He
know there
ran
was a
around all the
show.
time. I watched a little bit. I watched a few seasons and then
Like I said, I any of these new things that come out, I don't watch it. I just don't want to ruin my childhood memories. I like these things when I was a kid. They were good, they were animated, and I don't want them to be tainted with whatever junk they come up with now. So,
I always find them a little different from the movies. There's a few of the live actions I haven't watched just because 'cause I'm just not interested in them. Like, I'm sorry. the Lion King live action, that's not a live action as far as I'm concerned. That's CGI, and it's nothing but computer animation in the whole movie. There's not a single real animal in there. How is that live action? You
Well,
got a couple of
are they? They're
lions.
just call. Are they? Well, wait a second. You're right. There's no people. So wait a second.
There's no what live action? That's computer animation is what that is.
Okay.
It's more
Yes.
realistic looking, but that's about it. I mean,
I don't know.
it's not live action. I have no interest in seeing it just for that reason alone. It's not
Yeah.
live action. It's more computer generated, and quite frankly, I stopped caring about The Lion King after they came out with the second one. Didn't
Yeah.
care.
Well, so okay. So that's CGI.
Mhm,
Right? And that's what's in movies now, and that's a big thing about AI in movies. And I know that
mhm.
there's something going on now with like video games and AI and the voice actors.
Yeah,
Well, I will tell you why AI is having trouble taking over the world.
okay.
Okay. Um, some lady, let me open the page here. Some lady in the headline makes it seem this lady's 90. AI stuns grandma with vicious verbal attack and questions about her sex life. Okay. So
Okay.
the elderly Scottish lady, she's only 66. Like I said, they're talking like she's 90, but she's 66. She gets a phone call from Land Rover. She bought a
Mm,
car a few years ago and they were inviting her to some event. So, you know how when you go to check your voicemail, it gives you, like, instead of listening to it, you can AI will transcribe what the voicemail is.
yeah.
So it says, you've received an invite on your car if you've been able to have sex and not what should we call and just keep trouble with yourself. That'd be interesting, you piece of. Am I allowed to curse yet? I don't know how far in we are.
No, we're only 17 minutes in. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting, you piece of poop. But
Mhm.
they said it. Give me a call. So this is the voicemail she got from the car company. That's a transcription. Asking her
Oh,
if she had sex and calling her a piece of.
oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's real nice. I mean, I kinda knew AI wasn't gonna take over the world for other reasons. It's interesting that that's the message that it decided to send out to someone, but I mean, quite frankly, some of the things I've heard of AI doing and things, it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's taking over the world anytime soon regardless. I think it could mess up a whole lot of days, like, because we rely a whole lot on technology,
Someone
but
told me just the other day that the AI that we all use is purposely crappy, so that way we just think like, oh yeah, it's AI, that's stupid, we all know what it is, but secretly behind the scenes, like the really good AI is what's going to take over the world. And I'm like, "God, that just seems kind of far-fetched to me," but they had this whole big theory about it, and yeah.
I remember a few years ago, there was a big, news story that broke out in the scientific community because, they had created a program, for AI technology, and it was, to, like, gain self-awareness or something. It was supposed to study the human behavior and, I guess, report back to what its findings were or whatnot.
Mm,
And within, like, 48 hours, it completely burnt itself out. It destroyed itself.
yeah.
Am I worried about AI ever getting around to it? No, not really. I mean, even if ours is intentionally crappy, that's fine. Um, you kinda have to have in my opinion, humans are better at messing things up.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, we're gonna be our own destruction. I highly doubt the AI is going to kill us. I think it's going to be us ourselves.
Let's give it yourselves because someone's gonna, like, the AI is gonna say something stupid, and then there's gonna be a person there to just be like, yeah, that's right. Let's go along with it. Like they're just gonna be approving all the crappy things the AI does.
Let's just be honest. They came out with those Tesla servant robots, and they started actually selling them to people this year or whatever, or saying they were selling it. I don't know if it's true or not. I genuinely don't care. But whatever the case may be. But do you want to know what the first like 500,000 comments were? When's it going to be a pleasure robot? That's what we're more interested in happening. So, yeah, if we ever make anything close to a Terminator, it's not going to be a weapon, it's going to be a toy. Anybody remember the movie AI? Jude Law's character was a robot prostitute. Yeah, that's the future. I mean, let's be honest. So, taking it over? Nah.
Do you so okay, so I know that there's a lot of legal and moral
Mhm. Implications?
discussions
Mhm,
about prostitution.
mhm.
Would having robots then take away all moral problems you have with it because now it's not real people and then a lot of the problems kind of disappear.
Well, I mean, one way or another, it doesn't affect me, but I don't really have much of a moral implication against prostitution to begin with. As long as the individual is willingly doing this, it's not a last ditch resort type thing or they're forced into it type routine. They chose it and they're happy with it. I'm all for it. Um, would I have an issue with robots? No, not really. It's just, I mean, do you have an issue with vibrators? It's the same thing. It's just a much larger extension of that, I would think. I mean, I'm also not vegan, so I guess I'm crass at a lot of things. uh, so I don't think
Some
I would have a problem.
like I said, it just takes away a lot of the moral things that people have against it that disappears. I think it opens up its whole other set of
I,
potential moral issues, but
I think it could be a lot cleaner, a lot safer. I mean, possibly in that way,
well,
STDs
yeah, it's
might go
yeah,
down.
exactly. So it's safer. You don't have to worry about did this person choose it willingly or not because it's a robot,
Yeah, yeah, and you could actually
right?
disinfect it,
Yeah.
completely disinfect it, and dip it in bleach. Hey, so, I mean, yeah, it could be a lot more sanitary. That's fine.
So $1 million idea to whoever is gonna be the one to push robots over the finish line. That's right. That's what the people want. Here's your market for how you can market all your robots. You heard it here first.
I'm sure we're not the only people who have said that. I really doubt that. Uh, oh, that's too funny. Although they have that new movie that's coming out and the robot turns on her boyfriend, so, I mean, to each their own
How okay? So how long would it take before the robot, like someone teaches the robot to drug you and steal your stuff while you're asleep?
Oh, I don't think that'd take long at all. I don't think that'd take long. I think
Just
all
like
it
a
would
real
take is just
prostitute,
one
get
pimp.
robbed.
I think it'd just take one real pimp getting one, and that'd be that's it. Just one pimp, and then you're good to go. I mean, and no, Axel, we will not be continuing the riveting conversation from Friday. It's all that.
I missed the end of Friday because we got
You're
out of work late,
lucky.
so I missed the end of it.
I'm not
So
I'm not covering it.
apparently I need to go back. I need
You're
to
gonna
go
have to go
back.
watch it. I'm not talking about it again. Oh my god.
Someone in the
Never in
chat,
my
you could
life
tell
thought I'd
me.
discuss those. It's I'm discussing bowel movements on the internet. I honestly never thought in my entire life I'd have to discuss that on the internet. But yeah, yeah, good times to be had.
Okay, I gotta go back and watch now.
Oh my god. Oh, that's too funny. I did see someone else had mentioned the girls racing with, the baton, the one hitting the other girl in the high school with the
Yeah.
baton.
Yeah,
Okay,
MILF Man mentioned that.
did you see that she released, the girl that did it, that hit the other one, she released a video, and then she held some kind of rally or something, um, she still hasn't apologized to that other girl. she just keeps going on and on about how she didn't hit her like that. She didn't mean to. There was nothing she could do to stop it. It was an accident, but she never actually takes like responsibility for her behavior. Even if it was an accident, I hit her would be a nice way to start the
Yes,
conversation.
even if it's an accident, you could apologize.
Yeah, but she has not apologized, and she held a rally and had the news come out and
And
everything to say I didn't do it, and these are the people that support me. And there's like 10 people there. It's so sad. It's just like
okay, so I
so
watched
sad.
the video and then we watched it in slow mo.
Uh-huh.
It totally looks like she did it on purpose
Did you see that there's
because
another video of a different angle? It's
no. So
actually from behind. There's another video that it's from, like, behind, and you can see that she brings her arm up and swings, like, there's
well,
no doubt.
that's I only saw the video from the front, and yet like when you're running, because they were close together in the lane,
Yeah,
but she brought her arm like out to the side and really like wound up. Whereas if you're running, if she would have just brought her arm back normally, like when you're pumping your arms because you're running, and then as she's coming forward, she like uppercut the back of her head, that
yeah,
could be an accident. But the fact that she like came out and then swung down, and then it looked like she was gonna swing again, but she stopped herself. Like
mhm.
I don't know, it's not
No,
looking
it
good.
doesn't
It's
look
looking like
good at
she did it on
all.
purpose.
I mean, it doesn't look great at all, and
No.
I played sports once upon a time in my life. I played competitive sport, and I didn't do running. But I played soccer, baseball, basketball. I've hit many of people in my time, many of people. I've collided with way too many
Mhm.
people. I've knocked people down, hit people, kicked people, kneed people. I've never in my entire life hit somebody in the head with my fist while running. And
Yeah.
that's even after I've knocked them down and I'm running past them or stepping over them. Like I can't I can't fathom
And
making the excuse of I hit them in the head and not taking the credit for it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
And the girl got a concussion from it. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, she hit her hard. You would think
Oh,
too if
yeah.
you were just running and you accidentally hit her, I don't think you would have hit her hard enough that she would have gotten a concussion, that she would have been that injured. You would I mean, I guess it is possible, but you would think that it wouldn't have been nearly as hard.
Even if it was an accident, she wouldn't have hit her that hard. Like I said, I've hit many people while playing sports. I've dropped people colliding into them and things like that. I can't imagine hitting somebody and not even when I did it on purpose, I still apologize. Like,
Yeah.
come on, it's the least you could do. It's the
At
decent
least
thing.
pretend to be sorry for it.
Ex- Exactly. Good
And
sportsmanship, you know what I
and then
mean?
maybe people would be more likely to believe that it was just an accident.
Exactly. I can understand being competitive but for the love of God, at least have and on the internet of all things, like I can't imagine if the internet had existed back when I was playing sports. Oh God. Oh my God. But to go online and like double down and then do a rally, like really, do you think
Yeah.
if they're not buying it yet, do you really think they're going to? I mean, yeah, it was a Tanya Harding situation and it wasn't even a great one. She didn't even do it right. You're supposed to hurt them before the competition,
Well,
not
you're
during.
supposed to have somebody else hurt them. You don't do it yourself. You have somebody else do it, so then it's very hard to prove that you set it up, right? Oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. Oh, that's not what I said. We were talking. I didn't tell him to do that.
I wonder what's going to happen as far as her disciplinary actions are concerned
Well, she
because
got arrested.
well, yeah. I mean, as far as school and things are concerned, she could
Yeah.
probably get expelled for that because they have zero violence policies nowadays. And with the news and
Yeah.
attraction she's getting and the double down she's doing, they're not probably going to
And
be
it's just
welcoming.
and it's just a shame because I don't know anything about the girl. I don't know how good she is at track. From the little things I read, it seemed like she is a very good athlete, potentially could be getting scholarships for college. And it's just a shame that okay, maybe you don't win this meet, but she chose to do this, and she potentially torpedoed her entire life, because now if this messes up her school, she might, even if she doesn't get expelled, she might lose scholarships. So that if that's her chance to go to college, I mean, she really just, what a bad choice to make, and has potential life changing
Oh
consequences.
yeah,
And then I
it's
feel sorry for the other girl. I mean, the other girl got a concussion, and is
mhm.
this going to affect her running career now? Is she going to bounce back the same from a concussion? Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't imagine her parents co-signing off on this, and the fact that they're standing silently and letting her double down on
Well, that might explain, though, why that she even thought to do something like this, right? Her
true.
parents obviously aren't
Yeah.
pillars of morality, so you're right, they will make a Law& and Order out of this.
They make law and orders out of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I hope the girl's alright, and I hope she continues to run after this. I hope it doesn't give her, like, PTSD. Imagine, like, you're just running track. That's not a
Yeah.
violent sport. That's not something you expect. Now, if she was
Yeah.
playing a contact sport, I'd be like, "Oh, okay," It's still not okay, but a little easier to get over, but track is not a contact sport. That's not that's jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's not even in 2nd place. Now she's,
Yeah,
disqualified from
did
everything,
not
and
finish.
she's probably never gonna be allowed to play any sports for the high
Yeah.
schools. They're probably going to not let her do any I can't imagine she'd even be allowed to play football after this. I mean, she'd probably pull another Tonga Harding and come out of out of the woodworks with a crowbar. To the field.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
such a shame.
so this week I found a whole bunch of news stories
Mhm.
all about food,
Okay.
okay?
You're gonna make me hungry, but okay, carry on.
No, I'm not gonna make you hungry at all, I'll tell you that. I will not make you hungry.
Oh, it's gonna gross me out.
Okay, so this one, I don't know, do you like reading at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the scent of a nice old musty book, that has the distinct scent to the pages.
Yeah.
Well, there was a Michelin chef who concocted an old book flavored pudding. So guess how much money it costs to buy pudding that tastes like an old book?
$500.
$360.
That's cheaper than I thought. Still
This
stupid.
this guy, like, and he ruins a book to do this, which that's horrible too. You spread the pages with deodorized butter, which, what the heck is deodorized butter? I don't even understand what that is. Let it rest overnight so it's impregnated with the smell of an old book. So he made a little video, and he rips pages from a book, butters them, soaks the pages in a pot full of liquid, and then once the fat has been thoroughly saturated, you scrape the butter off the book and you dissolve it into an alcohol. So that way you can make your pudding and drop the little book flavored alcohol into it.
So
$360.
so we're ruining books now for
I
this?
know.
I mean, it's not bad enough they ate mummies. Now we're eating books? What? That's
Yeah.
gotta be gross. That's gotta taste like
Yeah.
that can't even be safe. The reason that smells like that is because it's like mold.
Yeah.
Like, what? Ew.
Noof said, "What's next? Old ass tasting pudding."
Yeah. Be
What?
better than them destroying books.
And I guess maybe because I don't know if he was boiling it. He soaked it. I'm hoping cooking, like, does it, like you said, it's mold and
Mhm.
mildew that makes it smell. Is it sanitary to eat this? I don't know. Like, I hope. I'm sorry. That's my dryer's done.
I can't imagine that that's safe. I would imagine if you ate too much of it in a short period of time, you'd get, like, mold poisoning or something.
Yeah.
'Cause or oh, watch. Oh, this is gonna be exciting. A bunch of rich people are gonna get, like, the black plague or something from eating black mold.
And you're paying
We don't have to eat the rich, they'll kill
$360.
themselves.
Yeah. I mean, you pay all that money to eat a moldy book. Like, that's just
Listen, rich
gross.
people eat some nasty, nasty stuff to begin with. I mean, let's just be honest. They really do.
So apparently this guy though, he does a lot of other experiments like this where he infuses the smell of things into your food. So I did not read this article, but the guy also distilled the aroma of sheep's wool and used it to accompany sheep's milk confections. That sounds a lot less gross though than an old book.
Yeah, but if you've ever been on a sheep farm, that still sounds so
Yeah.
nasty. Oh my God. That is just so nasty. People are gross, man. They
Yeah.
really are. They do some really nasty shit. I'm not even the things they eat, I'm sorry, but like the older wine and champagne is, to me, the worse it tastes. I've had old champagne and old wine, and it tastes terrible as far as I'm concerned. I
I'd rather read an old book.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll just smell it and inhale my mildew that way. I don't want to eat it. Yeah.
that's true.
And okay, so it costs $360. If someone paid you $360, would you eat a bite of the pudding?
Yeah,
Would you eat the entire pudding for three hundred
I don't
sixty
know. I
dollars?
probably wouldn't be able to stomach it.
I'd eat a bite for 360 without a doubt. Would I eat the whole thing? It depends how big it is. I'm gonna assume the fact that it's like, fancy stuff, the whole thing is probably like 3 bites big, right? You don't ever get big portions at those places.
That's
So
true, but
maybe. So maybe
still,
I'd eat it for 360.
I think the only way I'd be able to do a bite is if I'm allowed to throw up, like, right after I try to swallow it, because it's probably gonna happen. Like, I can't imagine that taste. I like the smell of old books, but I'm not eating them.
Can I have a book pudding and an empty bowl on the side, please?
Give me a bucket. I'm gonna need a
Yeah.
bucket. Yeah. Um, that Kopi Louis is that coffee? Is that the one that the monkeys eat it and poop it out?
I was gonna say like beetles eat it and poop it out. I'm just assuming that's somebody had to do.
Oh,
I
the
hope it's
black
not bat.
crap. Oh, there is
I
one that I know there's one that's but from bats. They
I
use
hope it's not bat crap because that's toxic and you could die from
oh,
that.
they use, the bats, fertilize the coffee, I think, or something like that. I think. I could be wrong, I'm not sure, but there's one that's known with, like, bats, but I know there's another one where monkeys eat the beans, poop them out, and that's your coffee. Now that sounds nasty to me, but so does the bat one. I personally like the fanciest coffee I'm going with is like, Hawaiian, Colombian. Like, that's I don't
Bat,
do weird.
you like how Back put that in the chat and then he walked away. He's not going to tell us what it is. We just have to
Yeah, I'm gonna have
wonder.
to look it up or something.
Yeah, eating that would be a good challenge for man versus food.
Ew, ew, ew.
Okay, here we go. Coffee that consists of partially digested coffee cherries, which have been eaten and pooped out by Asian palm civet.
Oh,
That's just,
ew.
dude. Okay. This thing is like Splinter.
No, that's so rude.
Here's what this thing looks like.
Okay.
Right? Look at this little thing. That's Master Splinter.
So there's a rat that's pooping things too now? So we've got monkey coffee or monkey poop coffee, bat poop coffee, and now rat poop coffee.
Yeah. This is what the one that he mentioned. It says it's this thing. It's
Oh hell
partially
no!
partially digested and pooped out by Master Splinter.
I'd rather have the monkey poop one. I think that
I don't know. I
them
mean,
people are nasty, man. They really are.
okay. So really, who's the one who who figured this out? Who was like, "Oh, this little thing just crapped out some coffee beans. Let me
You
pick
know,
those up."
I'd really like to know who thought turning mushrooms into coffee was a good idea, because
Yeah.
that's a new thing that's going on lately. I've heard so many people ask about it and talk about drinking and stuff, and all I can think is, that doesn't taste like coffee, and there really isn't. Like, what's the point of mushroom like, seriously?
Yeah.
It's not caffeine, so why are you drinking it? To be 100% miserable? Congratulations. You're drinking fungus. Fungus water at that. Fungus water.
Back did say at least they sterilize it before they roast the coffee. So at least it's sterilized poop coffee.
Well, hold up. There's even cat poop coffee? No. Really? Is there any kind of poop off the market for coffee now? Like, are we just dunking everything in any kind of
Who's the
poop?
taste tester? Who's like, okay, we fed these coffee beans to a llama, then we sterilized its poop. Who wants to try this? Right? Like who's feeding coffee beans to animals and testing it out?
I,
I
y-
mean,
um,
I would assume that you're doing this because these animals are native to wherever you grow coffee bean. Do you even grow coffee beans, or is it like they're called
in,
something else before you make them into beans? I don't know. Whatever it is, the coffee plant. Like I'm assuming these animals are native to that, so they're just eating them out in the wild.
mhm.
But yeah, what if you fed it to a non-native animal? Would that somehow, or those crap coffee beans taste better? Because wouldn't theoretically they all taste the same? Does partially digesting it change the flavor?
Why is anybody walking around scrounging through an animal's poop to find something to drink? You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with these people?
Yeah,
They need Jesus.
Frank said maybe being a poop coffee tester is a high paying job. You know how they always come out with those lists of like, oh, here's these top 10 surprising high paying jobs. It's always like, a lawyer, like, no, we knew they got paid a lot. Like, next list we're going to see is going to have poop coffee tester on it. $150,000 a year.
I would imagine it probably costs you more to do it though. Think of the salmonella and things you get from it. Like, there's so many diseases you get from messing with poop. Like, what?
And like I said, does it
Oh,
really change the flavor of it?
not enough for me to ever care. That's for sure. I know I'm not doing it. I won't even try mushroom coffee just because I know it tastes like shit. it's There's not a doubt in my mind. Not a doubt. Listen, the reason I drink coffee is because it tastes all right with creamer and sugar, because it's how I like my coffee. I like a little bit of coffee with a lot of cream and sugar. That's fine. And I like the caffeine in it. If it did not have caffeine in it, I would not waste my time with it. Mushroom coffee doesn't have the caffeine that coffee does. And poop coffee, I'm not that desperate. I'd rather do drugs. I'm just saying. I
Well,
could
so
be alone
Back
in that,
did
but
say that the rat poop coffee is the most expensive coffee in the world, so maybe it's cheaper to do drugs.
I mean,
Oh,
it'd
so hold
probably be
on.
healthier.
So Back is apparently a coffee expert. He said the soil and altitude of different regions change the flavor of coffee beans.
Yeah.
They're small berries, and the nut at the center is the coffee bean. Okay, I don't really understand altitude. I get soil.
Mhm.
I guess altitude because of pressure, whatever. Soil, I get it, your soil composition. That changes the flavor. Does an animal partially digesting it change the flavor? Right? Would a coffee bean that you just picked from the bush or whatever coffee beans grow on,
Mhm.
taste any different than the coffee bean that this rat pooped out?
I imagine it has to have some kind of taste difference, but, uh, no. Like I said, no. I'd rather
Oh.
do drugs. Call me Disco Stew, I'm going back to the '80s. No, no. And Frank, I think you can find mushroom coffee now at, like, Walmart and stuff. I think a lot of places are carrying it now. I've seen it. I know I've seen it. I just if you drink that Gabi with you, you're probably gonna get sick because I can't imagine it tastes good. I know people drink it and they're probably I don't know if they get sick or not. I've never heard anybody talk about the benefits of it, but I'm sure it's probably something to do with dieting, in which case usually diet products make you poop. So,
Does rat crap coffee make you poop more or less than normal coffee? You get skinnier drinking
still
rat
doesn't
crap
matter.
coffee?
Still wouldn't make a difference to me. Still doesn't make a difference in my life. Still not trying it.
Ah.
I don't
Yeah.
care if it reverses time. I'm not drinking it.
Okay, would you rather take one sip of rat crap coffee
Mhm.
or one spoonful of the musty book pudding?
Can I eat mushrooms off of a pile of cow shit? Is that an option? I'd rather do that without rinsing them straight off the cow. Ah,
See,
it,
I'd eat the musty book pudding over the coffee because I already don't like coffee. I already know it's going to be gross. Whether the rat ate it or didn't eat it, it's going to be gross. Whereas I'm assuming the musty book pudding is gross, but I don't know for sure. So I'll take my chances and eat that. Because what if it is secretly delicious?
I'm just curious as to how that's sanitary because a lot of rodents carry diseases that will severely affect humans. That rats can
Well,
live forever. They carry parasites and everything else.
Back
So,
said that they sanitize it somehow,
ow.
or
Like,
yeah, they sterilize it. I don't know.
wouldn't that mess with the flavor though? I mean, the whole thing that you use the coffee bean for is you
Okay, wouldn't that be a kicker if the whole reason that the taste comes from the sterilization process and has nothing to do with the coffee bean itself? That if you just picked them up off the ground and it went through the sterilization process, the taste was the same. Wouldn't that be funny?
now that would be interesting to find out.
You got
I
somebody whose
wonder.
job it is to go find this rat poop and look for the beans.
I wonder.
Digestive juices are not the same as ash juices. Well, true, but it doesn't mean that like it's gonna pass through the ash juice on its way out. And if the digestive juices broke it apart a little bit, then it marinates in the ash juice, right?
This whole thing is strange.
I've never
I'm gonna
given
have
this
to go
much
watch a
thought to
documentary on this.
rats pooping ever.
I'm gonna have to watch a documentary on this, leave rat poop coffee.
And how big do these rats poop? Because if the coffee bean is inside of the flower, like think of if you have a mouse in your house, like he doesn't have giant,
Hmm,
right? Giant turds in your house.
that's true.
Maybe this thing because it's not really a rat. He's whatever technically he's called.
Maybe it's like
So
the
maybe
size
it's.
of a cat or a dog or something.
Hey, Sir X-Men, I didn't tell you to picture it in your head. You chose to. You chose to imagine the little rat with a little poop coming out of its butt, sorting through it, finding the coffee bean, sterilizing the coffee bean, roasting it, drinking it.
Oh my god, that's too funny. It's too funny. It's
Ah.
too much. All right, what's the next topic? I'm tired of talking, discussing
Okay.
rat poop.
Okay. Okay. Something better that we're gonna eat. Um, Chewing on wood can boost your memory, right? Because chewing on gum is shown to boost blood flow to the brain, which enhances alertness, focus, and cognitive function.
Mhm.
So, South Korean researchers discovered that chewing on wood does a better job of increasing this antioxidant in your brain than chewing on gum does. They did a whole focus group where they gave people popsicle sticks to chew on, and if you chew on it for just 5 minutes, it has a benefit. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that it's wood. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't buy it. The only wood that I'm gonna chew on is you buy when you're a kid, you get those little ice cream cups, the little plastic or the little wooden thing. That's the only wood
Yeah.
I'm gonna chew on.
Well, yeah, I used to chew on popsicle sticks after we were done eating them. But yeah, I used to chew on a pencil in school every once in a while, especially when I would be like deep in thought. You can't help but I would, yeah, just chew on the end of a pencil a lot of times. I don't know. That might hold something to it. There might be something to it. It could also just be the fact that you're repeating an action, kind of like chewing gum when you're studying or something.
Frank said, "I call BS. I've never seen a beaver or woodchuck doing calculus."
But they do. Have
Maybe,
you seen the dams they build? Those things are
yeah.
impressive.
They're doing calculus inside their houses, not just out in your yard. That's why you haven't seen them.
Listen, they're engineering, okay?
Yeah, and they don't
That's
even have
good.
calculators. They're doing
Yeah.
it in their head.
They don't even have fingers to count on. Same.
Remember when people used to suck cane sugar on the stick?
Hmm.
What kind of stick do you put cane sugar on? Like on a wooden stick?
We used to just get sugarcane pieces, chunks of sugarcane.
Oh. Oh,
Maybe
so
it's
the
different
stick
areas.
itself is sugar cane.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sugarcane looks a little like bamboo. Kind of resembles bamboo, I think.
So does it taste like the sugar that you use normally? Is that what it tastes like? Or does it
Mm,
taste different since it's in this, sugar cane and not however they process it?
it's sweet. I don't know how to describe it other than it's just sweet. It's just I don't know. It's kind of like eating a less gritty sugar cube, I guess.
Hmm,
Sucking on a
interesting.
sugar cube maybe or rock candy,
Okay.
maybe.
I'd
I
rather
don't
have a
know.
pixie stick. I've had those.
Some
It is.
people, in some areas, they still chew on sugarcane.
See, they need to do testing then to find out, like, how does that compare to wood and to gum and how it's going to, affect your brain. But I wonder though,
Mhm,
okay, if this somehow improves the blood flow to your brain, and they said that studies have linked chewing difficulties to poorer cognitive abilities, which that to me is actually fascinating, that people who have trouble chewing on things,
mhm,
old people,
mhm.
lower cognitive abilities, like, does that kind of go hand in hand as you age? Like, I know that, like, one's not causing the other, but, like, is it making it worse, right? Because as you age, your brain deteriorates a little bit, so, like, if you have dentures and stuff, is it making it worse that you can't chew as well? I don't know. Anyways, that's a total tangent, but if chewing wood or gum, for that matter, supposedly makes your brain function better, what if, like, you have a big test? Should, like, you bring a popsicle stick to chew on during the test? Would that
Or you can
help
chew on
you?
your pencil.
Yeah,
Pencil
would
would.
that help you?
I don't know. Maybe. Sir X-Men, it's chew, not suck. Chew.
I mean, you do you, but the chewing is I believe what they said. It increases blood flow and some GSH, which I don't know what that is, but basically, as you get blood flowing to your brain. But really, if it just takes blood flowing to your brain, like, does talking do it? Is it just moving your jaw?
I think it's got a lot to do with just repetitive actions on a continued basis.
I don't know. I mean, they're studying this. They have some more work to do. But I saw that and I was like, who the hell is gonna chew on a popsicle stick? Like,
Oh,
even if someone
sure.
told you, "Hey, take this test, you'll do better if you chew on a popsicle stick for 5 minutes," you'd probably be like, "Yeah, you're full of it. I'm not doing that." Right? You're not gonna listen.
True.
I don't know. Okay, so here's and other things that we're not supposed to be eating.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
I don't have TikTok,
Mhm.
so I don't know, like, just because you read an article and it says, "Oh, this was on TikTok," it could be one person just trolling you,
Yeah.
right? It could be a whole bunch of people trolling you. It could
Mhm.
be that people really are that dumb. So
Okay.
I don't know what this is. No clue. But people are eating biodegradable packing peanuts. People are saying that they make the perfect bedtime snack, and they claim they're edible because they dissolve in their mouth. Um, One, they're not like you don't know what these things are made of. A lot of them have known carcinogens in them. But even if they didn't, even if these things were perfectly healthy, a rice cake's got to have more flavor than a packaging peanut, right?
Why are people eating aren't most of them made out of, like, styrofoam? Even the biodegradable ones are like, it's like a styrofoam texture. What?
Yeah,
I'm so
but
confused.
it's got a styrofoam texture, but they're made out of some of them are made out of potato starch. That way, like if you put them in water, they just disintegrate.
Mhm.
But just because they're made from potato starch, there's known carcinogens like throughout the process. Sometimes they're coated in stuff. Um, Even if they're not, they just think like, these things are on the ground, who's touching them, who's stepping on them, like just they're not sanitary, the handling of them. But who's laying in bed at night and they're like, "Oh my god, I need a little snack." And oh, thank God the Amazon box is next to me. Let me eat this packaging peanut.
People are getting a little carried away. I've seen there's a few dishes that are like that to me they're noodles and they're like clear noodles,
Yep.
but the way they snap, it sounds and they look to me like clear plastic. I was concerned about people eating that and what that's going to do to their digestive systems in the long run. Packing peanuts, you know what? Enjoy them. I recommend sauteing them with a little butter, add a little seasoning. Don't be greedy with the seasoning. Go ahead and add some.
Like I said, wouldn't a rice
Don't
cake have
breathe.
more flavor? Like there's no way these things have flavor.
Hopefully, it'll keep them from breeding in the future. I don't know. I'm all out of. I genuinely don't know what to say to these people anymore. They're eating the dumbest shit on the planet
Yeah.
and just expecting that this is going to be okay. Just because you can eat it now doesn't mean it's not doing damage in the long run. I mean, but go ahead. Please do, and please, by all means, do not reproduce. The world has enough of you in it. Be selfish.
Honestly, if you watch a TikTok of people eating them and you think that sounds like a great idea, I mean, you get whatever's coming to you because you have to know these things are just dumb, right? I mean, you have to know.
This is like the few people that ate Tide Pods. I know that it wasn't as many people eating Tide Pods that the
Yeah.
news always makes it out to be. It was probably like a handful of people. But who are we to stop those handful of people? Please don't let us destroy that for you. In fact, have you tried washer tablets yet? I'm talking dishwashing tablets. They're a lot crunchier than the Tide Pods, my friend. Like, have you tried eating one of those yet?
Oh.
Like,
Are
we need to take the warning labels off of things at this point. I'm all for taking warning labels off of things because for the last few years, I have watched people eat soap willingly and excitedly. I have seen people use super glue to glue wigs to their heads.
Yes, the
Like,
Gorilla Glue.
yeah, I've seen, you know what? Warning labels off. We need
Yeah.
you warning labels off. I'm tired of my shampoo
Survival of the
bottle.
fittest.
Yeah, I'm tired of my shampoo bottle saying, "Do not eat this." Why does my shampoo bottle need to tell me not to eat it? Who the hell is eating shampoo?
Somebody did. They need to put it on the bottle. Somebody did.
So who
Harold said
cares?
said, "You know what has more flavor than a packing peanut? It's biodegradable. Coffee out of a cat's ass."
Oh my god.
Okay, so wait, so Sir X-Men got me thinking though.
What?
Sir X-Men said his dog eats poop, right? The animals do. Animals eat
Yeah,
poop.
yeah.
Okay. Would this coffee taste better? Hear me out. The rat eats the coffee flour, poops it out. A second rat comes up and eats the poop, and then he poops the coffee out. Does it get better with every rat that eats it? Is somehow enhancing the flavor profile of the coffee?
Well, hold up. Noof, I'm gonna need you to explain people getting stoned off of compressed air cans. What?
Whippets,
Oh, that
right?
yeah, that's
Is
been a
that what you're
it's
talking about?
I really hope to God you're talking about whippets, because I mean,
I've
that at
never
least
I've never done a whippet. I know that's what they're called.
I
I've
hope
worked
to
in
God that's
restaurants
really
where
what
they
you're
had to
saying.
lock up the whipped cream because people were doing whippets. Uh,
Uh,
I got carded one time for buying whipped cream. Apparently, it
mhm,
was something new that came out, and you have to be 18 to buy things in a canister.
mhm. Yeah, years ago, I remember having to show ID to buy glow sticks because underground raves were a big thing at that time, and they were trying to curb drug usage and things, so they wanted everyone to be over 18 to buy glow sticks.
Yeah, but
That's not a thing anymore, but it was so weird.
yeah, but no. So yeah, the can that you get rid of dust in your computer, but are they doing it because it's the compressed air? So it's like the same thing as a whippet, right? Because you're just inhaling the air.
Yeah, yeah, it's
I
aerosol. It's
I
an
remember as a
aerosol
little
can.
kid. So you know when you watch Rescue 911, but everybody lives, like that's part of the thing is
Yeah.
people live. I saw an episode where the dude died, and they did it kind of like as a public service announcement because the kids were teenagers were sniffing paint cans. So I
Mm.
remember they showed a photo of some dude and he had like gold paint all around him. But yeah, the kids died, so I think it was just like a little PSA to tell kids don't huff paint.
I saw, one of those dare posters, and it was a guy throughout the years of his arrest, and he huffed paint all the time, and so, like, every mugshot was a
Yeah,
different color,
colored paint.
and he looked I mean, the guy went from, like obviously, he aged over the years, so he went from, like, this young, decent-looking guy with, like, a bunch of paint on his face to this, like, raggedy old man. The funniest thing all I could ever think was, you can always tell he's got a new arrest by the different colored paint he's got on him, and you can always tell it's an updated picture because it's a new shade of paint. I can't imagine if somebody goes to do a background check pulling that up. Oh my god, can you imagine? That's just too how would you even explain that? Other than you have to be honest, like, there's
Do you
no
do
way to
you
get out of that.
I don't know, do you think a guy like that's going for a job that requires a background check? I don't think so.
Okay, good point. Good point.
He's only going for jobs that do not require background checks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, actually to buy the whipped cream canisters of air that people, you do use to make whipped cream and things at home or in restaurants, you do have to show ID. You have to be over 18 to buy the canisters. You can buy whipped cream in the store at any age, but
Oh
you
no,
have
I
to get
got
it
no,
in
I
the
got
basket.
carded for buying like just a canister of whipped cream,
Oh,
like
that's funny.
like a can of Ready Whip or
That's
whatever.
funny. You
I
do
got
have to
carded at the
show
gas station.
up until I think a couple of years ago, you had to be over 18 to buy, super glue and model glue and anything like that because of the fumes. Because I guess people were huffing. I don't understand half this stuff. I'd be worried about the glue getting on something and super gluing it shut, but then again, people are super gluing wigs to their heads and
Yeah.
acting surprised when they can't get it off afterwards, so yeah, you snuffle up against something, right?
Okay, so I have one more news story,
Okay.
okay? And this I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. This is gonna be gross. I'm just gonna tell you ahead of time.
Oh god,
Um,
I'm excited.
well, it's only potentially gross. I don't really know if this is gross. So I don't know. Potentially if things were not sanitized, it was gross. Okay. So you ever been to Hot Pot before?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been to a hot pot place, but they give you pots of liquid, right? So
Yeah.
and then they give you like raw meat, raw vegetables, and you cook it yourself in the
Mhm.
hot pots,
Yeah.
right? So that's the thing. Okay. So in China, this is the country's biggest hot pot chain restaurant.
Mhm.
So a whole bunch of or two 17-year-old males. They were a bunch of drunk teenagers, and they had a private dining room at a restaurant on February 24th. And they took video of it. But I don't know if they took video or if they had surveillance video. That I'm not sure about.
I feel
Um,
like I know where this is going.
they peed into the broth.
Okay, a little more
Okay,
left than I was thinking.
so they peed into the broth, which, okay, right there, that right there, I don't get because you're cooking in it, right? Like you're eating it. Why are you doing it where you're eating? So let's hope they were smart enough to at least wait to the end of their own meal. I don't really know, but the employees working that night didn't stop them. They did it. Um, and they claim they weren't alerted to the situation to 4 days later. And then it took the company, so they own more than 1,000 restaurants worldwide. Took them to March 6th to confirm the location where it happened. Um, and since you use your own personal hot pots, it seems that no one consumed the meal, I guess, except for them potentially. But the question is was everything properly disinfected before the next guest used the same equipment? So they claimed that they replaced all the hot pot equipment and dining utensils and disinfected other crockery and utensils, but they ended up giving refunds to everybody who ate at the restaurant between February 24th and March 8th. They're giving out refunds and they're giving a monetary compensation 10 times the amount they were billed. Okay. So here's my question: would you eat at a hot pot place where somebody a week before you pissed in the hot pot if you were going to get, not only did you get a free meal, but you're going to get 10 times the amount of money you paid? Which, if you just think about it, I don't know how much hot pot costs. Let's say it's only $30, then you'd get $300. Would you do it? Would you eat it? This is a tough one. I'm going to say I probably would because I would think that if the thing went through the dishwasher, right? Those I can't think of
They
what the
are
word is. The
sterilizing,
industrial dishwasher is
yeah.
not that's not the same as the dishwasher at your house. I bet you that would kill me, I would think.
Well, a restaurant dishwasher already sanitizes, and then they usually have a separate machine that sanitizes the dishes again, just for good measure to help dry them as well. Holy shit. I don't know, man. That's messed up. That is so messed up.
But
So messed up.
I don't understand, like
What
I
the
said,
hell?
why why would you do it in your own hot pot? What if you
I'm
wanted
not
to eat more
gonna lie.
food?
I really thought you were gonna say they, like, teabagged it or something. I was not
No.
expecting piss in there. I was expecting something else. Um,
Back says he'll do it for 200K. For $300. Hell no. Okay, I am not cooking my food in the piss hot pot, right? Like they're not gonna pee in it, and I'm cooking my food in it. I'm saying they peed in it. The thing we're gonna assume was washed, may or may not have been. I don't know, right? Whatever procedure they normally use, I'm coming in 3 days later, and I happen to be at that hot pot station, and that's what I eat.
Man, what the hell? What
See,
is
now
wrong with these kids, man? These kids are weird as all get out.
Frank said not to mention the pots are boiling the entire time, so it's definitely sanitized. And Perry's right. Frank and I, we this is the stuff we do all the time. Would you do this for this amount of this is what we do? Okay, and I just want to say in the chat, okay, so Sir X Man was telling me that I was grossing him out and I was getting too graphic about rat crap coffee. But can we all look at the chat and see what he just asked me? He said, Pink, would you cook your poop in a hot pot?
Really? Really?
I'm grossing you out? No, I would not, because it's in a toilet. I'm not a maniac like that. I wonder though, would the coffee beans taste better if you took them from the rat and put them in the hot pot, in the piss hot pot, right? Does that like amplify the coffee flavor?
For mixed men, I'm gonna say if I walked up to a hot pot place and it said no pissing in the hot pot, I'm leaving. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
ask
oh, I'm
questions.
with
I'm
you.
just
Yeah,
leaving. I'm just walking away. It
I'm with you because that means it happened. And
yeah,
it must have happened more than once that you have to put up a sign. Because you figure if it happens once, you just ban those people and then like your staff pays more attention. But if you have to put a sign, to me, that means it's a problem and you can't stop people from doing it.
yeah, yeah. Kinda like I've been to a bar one time and, the bar didn't say I don't know if it's still open or not. It was an older bar though, but it had on the front door, it said "No pissing at the bar." It's like
Okay, but that's a bar. That's a little bit more understandable because
yeah,
you have
but
a
the
whole
whole
bunch of
place
drunk
smelled like
people.
piss. The whole
Yeah.
place smelled like piss. It was like, yeah, okay, I know why they have the sign out there because people are obviously getting so drunk they're peeing themselves. Again, didn't stay there very long either though, because that
No, no,
was
I
it
don't think they're peeing
was like
themselves. I think
anywhere.
that's the problem is they're whipping it out and peeing on the floor so they don't pee themselves. I think that's
No, I've
the
watched
issue.
people piss themselves at the bar. I have watched it. There's a person that's in the area and, they're very well known for getting extremely hammered, and the problem is they don't talk, so you don't know how drunk they are, and, because 'cause you're not allowed to most places, you're not allowed to overserve. Once
Yeah.
somebody gets to a certain drunk point, you're supposed to cut them off, but the problem with this person is they don't talk to anybody, they don't get up and walk anywhere, so you can't tell when they're drunk, and they usually stay during shift changes, so the next person doesn't know
Mm.
oh, this person's been here since we opened. It's now 7 o'clock at night. We should cut them
Yeah.
off. Um, yeah, they piss their pants at the bar constantly. They've even pissed themselves at the bar. It's an interesting
You've got a
experience to
problem.
meet them. Oh yeah, no, definitely
Although
on a
maybe although maybe he's just preparing for his night out at Hot Pot. We don't know. So Sir X Man gave us a $2 super chat and said, "I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist."
oh my gosh. Too funny. Too much. Too much. I don't think I'll be able you know what? It's probably a good thing I don't have many hot pot places by me because I will not be able to look at hot pot for a while after this.
I've
And I
never
do like
eaten
hot
that
pot,
one. I've never eaten
so
one, and I want to. And there's one by Frank's house that he goes to.
mhm.
So are you still gonna go there, Frank? Do they have a private room if
A
you
lot
wanted
of
to
them.
rent it so you could go piss in your hot pot, or do you have to just
Most of the ones
I
I've
don't know.
been to don't have any private rooms. Most of the ones I've been to, it's all essentially cafeteria, like
Yeah.
dining almost. Because they're set up a lot of times the experience I've had it's a lot of times set up like buffets. Your vegetables and things are all, like, nicely set up so you can go by, pick them up, and then they bring you meat to your table.
Okay. Yeah,
So
the one that Frank goes to, that it used to be a buffet. We ain't seen restaurants, hot piss pot. Sadly, you're right, Frank. I'm sure yeah, I'll still go. I'm sure we eat piss and crap every time we get food in some capacity.
That's unfortunate too.
Perry said, "Fuck that, I'm staying home and cooking." Okay, I don't know if Perry just pays attention more than the rest of us,
Mm,
or he really I always say that he has the little Eeyore rain cloud above him. I don't know how one person gets so much hair in their food everywhere every time we go someplace. Like I said, so I'm thinking that the rest of us get hair in our food and we just don't know and we eat it, whereas he knows and he sees it and he finds the hair. He gets hair in his food all the time. I mean,
that's
it's kind of funny at
terrible.
this point. Like
That's
he
bad.
at Perkins, he went to pick up his piece of toast, and I was like, "Don't eat that." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Don't eat that." It was like someone shaved their armpits. There was like a massive tuft of hair on the toast plate. Like I don't
Oh,
understand.
that's
Like that wasn't like a
terrible.
hair fell out of your head. I mean, yeah, yeah.
I feel so bad. That's terrible. You know what? That it's actually kinda ever since they started doing, that Gordon Ramsay had that one show, what was it, Kitchen
Kitchen
Nightmares,
nightmares. Yeah,
and then, oh, what's John Taffer or whatever, and he
yeah,
does the bar rescues, and it's like, yeah, I can't imagine a lot of those places, I have to really be craving it and not be able to make it myself.
yeah.
Like, it has to be extremely difficult for me to cook myself.
Okay, hold on. We got another 2-hour super chat from Sir X Man. At Hot Pot, you can make your own bowel movement stew.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Wait, well, what's wrong with Jack in the Box?
yeah,
Are they
I've
all
never
shut down? Is it just the one in your area? I need to know because 'cause I've had Jack in the Box, and I need to
recently.
know, do I need to go, like, get a hepatitis shot or something?
I've never had Jack in the Box, and he also said that still hasn't gone back to Chipotle after their issues. I love Chipotle, and I would go back to Chipotle because I love them so much. I'll take my chances. I also hate vegetables, so I'm not gonna die because no one's dying from salmonella from pixie sticks. Let's be real. Um, but the Chipotle is like 25-30 minutes from my house,
Mhm.
so I don't go there because by the time I get home, it'd be cold and gross and whatever. So
I just don't like Chipotle. I've never liked Chipotle. I do not I find them extremely overrated, and I'd rather find a dirty, broken down truck selling Mexican on the side of an abandoned road or something. And
true, and you know what? Because I love Chipotle, I think of too like in the beginning because they're definitely not as good as they were when they first started. Yeah.
I
I don't know if I've ever been to a White Castle. When I was a kid, we were somewhere, I don't know if we were at a fair, we were somewhere where they had White Castle burgers, and I was so
mhm.
excited and I wanted one, and I didn't realize it had onions in it, and then I was thoroughly disgusted, and I didn't wanna eat it, but then I was forced to eat it because I made my parents buy it, and yeah. I think
The
that's the only
chicken
time I've ever
sandwiches are good.
yeah, I think that's the only time I've ever had White Castle.
I
Perry
used
had
to like
White Castle when they were in Jersey, right? Didn't you guys get, like, a whole case of White Castle and left it in the hallway or something because it was kinda gross? I don't know the whole story.
last time I had, we have Crystal, and we don't have White Castle, but we have Crystal Burger, it's the same thing. Last time I had it, I got sick, so I won't eat it anymore.
Okay, so let's see, what did Back say? "It's a long time ago, most of the Jack in the Box restaurants were all shut down after so many food poisoning issues. They're not in my area for a few decades." Well, they're open now, though, so they must have resolved whatever their issues were.
Okay, yeah, if it was food poisoning, I did not get food poisoning last time I was there, so that's okay. But we don't have any Jack in the Boxes in the area. I ate it on vacation. This one's not the same exactly the same as White Castle, but it is actually they're, sister companies. White Castle owns Crystal or something, I think. They're the same burgers, it's just different names. But we don't have any of those anymore either, they've closed those down.
The last 10 out of 10 times you got sick.
How dare you remind me, sir? I'll still eat it. I don't know why it's the style. I miss them. I miss White Castle. I miss White Castle. That's what I want. It was a real White Castle with the old crunchy, big ass fries. They were real potatoes. I don't know what they do now because I haven't had them in so long, but yeah. And the meat used to be meat. Now it's kind of like a mat, like a clay mat, put on a
So,
sandwich.
Jack in the Box is Mexican food? Is Jack in the Box like Taco Bell? I've never been to Jack in the Box, we don't have them. I just assumed it was like a White Castle, a Wendy's, a Burger King. But Sir X-Men said I used to love Jack in the Box tacos.
They have mini tacos
Oh,
and some other things. I don't know. The mini tacos were good, but I don't know if I necessarily
hmm.
would consider that a Mexican restaurant. I don't know. I
Do,
really
I mean,
don't
do
know
they
what
have
Jack in the
other
Box
ham?
is.
I mean, is it
Yeah,
normal just hamburgers and French fries, and then just
yeah,
mini tacos?
yeah. I don't
Okay.
know if they have big tacos or not. I really don't. I just get the mini tacos when I go because 'cause they're good. I like mini tacos. I am a big mini taco person. 'Cause mini tacos are all the important good things. That's it. I don't need lettuce. I just want meat, cheese, taco.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I need, and maybe some sour cream to dip it in. Hey, can't go wrong with mini tacos.
So Cougar Man said he just saw a story, and I saw it too. I don't know if it was it on Petty Revenge or Am I the Asshole? I don't know, but he said saw a story where the guy used to drive his coworker home every day for like 2 years, and he would so it's like 15, 20 minutes out of his way, and the guy
Mhm,
never gave him anything, never gave him gas money, nothing. To be fair, he didn't ask, but he never gave him anything. He didn't really care. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll give you a ride home."
mhm,
Um, so he was at the vending machine one day, and his wallet was in his car, and he was $1 short. So he asked his coworker, like, "Hey, can I have $1 for the vending machine?" And the guy told him no, and he was like, "Go out to the car. I'm not in the habit of loaning money to coworkers." I don't know if he said loaning money or maybe he said like doing favors for coworkers, something like that. So then the guy waited to the end of the day, and the coworker was like, "Oh, you gonna bring me home?" And the guy's like, "Sorry, I'm not in the habit of doing favors for coworkers." Like, can you imagine that for 2 years you're giving this guy free rides, and then he doesn't have enough sense to give you $1 for the vending machine?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely believe it, but I find it hard to believe that this is the only time in 2 years this guy has shown that he's extremely selfish,
Oh yeah, I'm
um,
sure.
and extremely unhelpful. Um, I don't think I would have even lasted 2 years personally.
Oh,
Like
I
I said, there
agree.
were probably more things that happened before that that were an extreme giveaway. This guy should not be helped, period. He needs to suffer and figure it out himself. But I'm also extremely petty. I'd probably tell him that I have to go do something somewhere, take him out into the middle of the desert, and then kick him the fuck out of my car and tell him to figure it the hell out unless he wants to get stuffed in the trunk. Because I am petty.
You invite him out for hot pot, and then when he goes up to the bathroom, you piss in his hot pot liquid.
I would never disrespect food like that. Never disrespect food like that. Hot pot's pretty good. I would never disrespect food like that. But like, yeah, I'd drive him out in the middle of the desert.
You bring him in and you tell him I have this new great coffee that you have to try, and you don't tell him that it's been crapped out by a rat.
Yeah, yeah. I'd do some petty revenge long term. Long term.
Oh.
I'd introduce him to, like, the worst person I've ever met. Be like, "You guys should get married. You should have kids with them." And then when they show their crazy psychotic side, I'd be like, Oh, my plan came together. Did it all come together? Absolutely horror movie. I do nothing but think of mean things all year round. I got time.
Okay, so Rexman said, my friends gave me a ride to work when my car was getting serviced. I would ask them, do they want any money for it? And they were appreciative. But then I bought him lunch and he said, thanks. Well, I know because that's what normal people do.
Yeah.
You offer people gas money. If they don't take your gas money, you offer them food.
Mm.
You know, you bring them in donuts one day or something. I don't know. Because,
Listen, even my mom pays me for driving around with her to do things. Like when if we're doing a small costume delivery or something, we'll just take my car and she'll have her gas money and I usually say no and then she'll be like, okay, well we'll get coffee and we'll get lunch. We'll get coffee on the way there and then we'll get lunch. So she'll buy me Starbucks on the way to the drop off and then after we drop it off, we'll go get lunch. I mean, it's at least a thank you would be nice.
yeah.
I mean, he asked for $1 for crying out loud. You couldn't give the man $1? I mean, that's just beyond ridiculous right there.
And like, they never? Well, probably not, because people who are like that are real jerks. Because I was gonna say, didn't it occur to this guy like, hmm, if I'm a jerk to this guy, why is he gonna keep helping me out? But yeah, people like that, they don't think like that. They just think, of course, you're gonna keep helping me.
Yeah, and I guarantee you he's gonna go running around telling everybody, "Oh, he refused to drive me
Oh
home and
yeah, of
he's
course.
doing it." You know how stupid I would love to be the fly on the wall in that conversation because the first person to call him out is gonna be hilarious. Like, "You're out of your mind."
Harold said it sounds like a fetish. Are you talking about peeing in hot pots? Or are you talking about rat crap coffee? I don't know what point he said that to.
I'm not sure. It could be anything. Maybe dropping him off in the desert. It could be a fun game. Not I mean, not for the person who's getting left out in the desert, but it could be fun for the rest of us.
The guy's excuse is he can't afford a car and that the coworker's petty for not driving him home. I don't know. I want to say 2 years of free commuting. Maybe you should have saved up for a car or a
I'm gonna
bike,
say, even if you
a
can't
scooter.
afford a car, that's your problem. That is a you
Yeah.
problem, not a me problem.
Like I said, get a scooter, get a bike, some other mode of transportation, a good pair of sneakers. I don't know. A bus pass.
There's other ways. I mean, and the coworker gets paid for not driving home. It's his car. He don't have to do nothing. And you can give him $1, so why would he do anything for you? I mean, I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire at this point. I'm sorry, but that's just ridiculous to me. I can understand if he asked for like $1,000 or something even $100. He asked for $1. At this point, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a tornado, you better hope you get to the shelter before I close the door because I'm not opening it for you. Oh, the building's on fire. I hope you make it to the bottom exit door before I do because I'm shutting it behind me. Fuck you. You want to be petty? We can be petty. $1. Really? I could wreck your life over $1. I'm just saying, if you're that broke after 2 years of free rides, you still can't afford a vehicle or even $1 to give to somebody, maybe you should, I don't know, try to be better to people around you. At least be a little nicer at turning down the idea of giving him $1, other than just saying, "Go back to the car and get your wallet. I don't loan money to." I would've if I didn't wanna give him $1, I'd just lie and be like, "I don't have it."
Well, it's to say, yeah. Wouldn't you just say I don't have $1?
Mm,
I left
yeah,
my wallet at home. Just
yeah.
make up some excuse to make you not
I don't
seem like a
carry
jerk.
cash. I usually don't, so that's not a lie,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Are you
Well,
trying to ruin
those
Hot Pot? Correct me. Are you trying to ruin Hot Pot?
one of these days I'm gonna eat hot pot. One of these days. I don't know when. one day.
I have officially been confused. I've only seen hot pot places by themselves, and I've seen hibachi places by themselves, and I've seen sushi places by themselves, and I've seen sushi and hibachi together, and other things and whatnot. But in a really, really small, like I'm talking like really small deli almost. They turned it into a restaurant, and it is a hot pot, sushi, hibachi, it's something else. And all I could think is, I'm intrigued because I'm wondering how they've got all of this stuff into one
Yes, to
area.
say, how is there enough room for it all?
It is extremely small. I'm saying it's like it's a really old. It really is. It's an old ass diner from like the 70s. For
Yeah,
crying out loud! It is tiny. The old Waffle Houses would be the best way to describe it.
yeah.
It is really small. It's no bigger than a manufactured home or a mobile home. And I'm like, how are they fitting all
They
of
have
that?
one hibachi table, one hot pot table, and one sushi making station.
Maybe. Oh yeah, no, all you can eat places have been ruined forever. The last buffet by me that closed down last time, one of the reasons it closed down was one, it had a ton of health code violations. Food was not being kept at the right temperatures, it wasn't being kept sanitarily, people were gross. But to make it better, the seats, the restaurant itself got bed bugs
Oh
on
god.
top of the vermin in the back. So, am I sad that all you can eat buffets are closed? No, not really. No. The idea of it, and to make it worse, they've reopened that particular restaurant. Oh, oh, the only thing I can think of is obviously those people didn't live here when that place closed if they're willing to eat there. Oh, oh.
I feel like when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, you know what you're getting into, and you just put it in the back of your head and hope for the best, right? Like, we all know. We all know that, okay, we're taking little lax on food safety today. Some little kid probably sneezed on the food. And you're just rolling with it.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you see the news story about the butt paste at the supermarket?
I'm gonna
There
need you to
was
be more specific.
there was it was at a grocery store, the deli in the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
They had I don't remember all the other health code violations they had. There were a bunch of them, but like in one of the carts they had a whole bunch of like food prep stuff. There was a tube of butt paste, and they
Just
said they
open?
don't know what it was used for. Yeah, there was a tube of butt paste mixed in with all the food prep stuff.
That's just weird. That's really weird. What in the hell? What? Why? That's weird.
So then the news place went to the store and they try to get the guy, like, the manager on duty to like give a comment, and he was like, "Oh no, we can't say anything." The guy was like just trying to walk away. No, no, no comment, no comment. Well, yeah, what can you comment on that?
So weird. That is so
Yeah.
weird. I can't even imagine what the point of that would be. Cause I mean,
Let's hope not for your butt.
I hope it is. What the heck? That's oh my
No, because
god.
if it's with the food prep stuff, does that mean that the dude's swiping his butt and then going back to making food? It wasn't in the bathroom. It was in the deli food prep cart.
I know, but I'm confused. Are we putting it on sandwiches?
South Florida Winn-Dixie. You can look it up. We saw the news thing about it. Yeah, if you guys don't use butt paste as a mayo substitute.
No, I can't say I have. Not really my style.
Good. Okay, here we go. Roaches found in bakery, butt paste found in sandwich prep area at South Florida Winn-Dixie. That's what the headline says.
But, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and say it, if it's a Florida since it's in Florida, listen, if you're going to Winn-Dixie to have your sandwiches made anyway, you're already off to a bad start. Like, you've already jumped off a cliff. Like, everybody who's anybody in Florida, if you want a good sandwich, if you want a really good sub, I'm gonna be the first. I'm not even the first one. I'm not even hell. I'm probably not even the 1,000th person. Subway blows. I haven't eaten at Subway in years, and the last time I did is because I did not have a choice. I would rather go out of my way to any Publix in the area and have a sandwich made there. It's always clean, the people are always nice, it's quick, the sandwiches are really, really good, and they're not stupid expensive. So, yeah, if you're going to Winn-Dixie for sandwiches, I don't really feel bad for you. That's your own problem.
This is what it says. One of the most serious violations noted during the inspection was the presence of live roaches crawling behind and beneath the large bakery oven near a metal pipe. The discovery led to an immediate stop use order for all open food processing and handling in the bakery. All food related equipment and utensils in the affected area, including ovens, proofers, and bread slicers, were deemed unsanitary until proper cleaning and pest control measures were implemented. Okay. Inspectors also discovered a tube of diaper rash cream, butt paste, stored inside a sandwich prep unit in the deli, raising serious concerns about contamination and improper storage of non food items in the food preparation areas. Yeah, that's a pretty big concern. The butt paste in your deli. They also had a bunch of things were stored at improper temperatures, a bunch of seafood.
Hmm.
Hot items were unsafe temperatures. There were cross contamination issues with raw shell eggs stored above bananas in the cooler, raw chicken above raw pork shoulders in the cooler. Um, Inspectors also found old food residue encrusted on a slicer blade and a knife in the produce section, indicating inadequate cleaning procedures. Seafood department had no paper towels at the designated hand washing sink. Several open packages of deli meats had exceeded the 7-day limit for consumption. They were voluntarily discarded, though.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
I stand by my statement. Winn-Dixie is not the place anyway. If you're in
but
Florida and you're shopping at Winn-Dixie for anything other than already prepackaged items, you get whatever you get, and you cannot be throwing fits because when it comes down to it, here in Florida, in my experience, Winn-Dixie, not great. Really not great. I do not shop there very often, and if I do, it is processed packaged food because the few times I have gotten like fruit and things from them, it's molded. It's I mean, I bought pre-washed sliced fruit from them and it had moldy fruit in there. So they cut moldy fruit, they cut moldy strawberries and put them in a package to sell to someone. In the No, you get what you get at Winn-Dixie. Like, you know
yeah,
what you're getting. The floors haven't been redone since 1975. The roofs, I mean, most of them have leaks. The buildings are old as no, you're on your own with that one. I'm gonna stick to Publix. I might pay a little more, but you know what? I know my things are good to go. They
there's no
redo the
butt paste
stores
in the
every
deli area.
they redo this they close the stores down and redo them entirely after like 10 years. Yeah, not even worth. Nope. You get what you get at Winn-Dixie.
Sir
That's a you
Xman,
problem.
Sir Xman said, "Would you like some brown mustard on your sandwich?"
Yeah.
Yeah, at Fred's job, they had expired deli meat out, like a lot of it.
Oh my
Quite several
god.
days are all expired because you know how like they cut it and put it in little packages for you to buy instead of having to wait for the deli guy to slice it. They were all expired.
That's that's gross. That is so bad. That is
You know,
really
so
bad.
the news story didn't say if they had piss inside the hot pot, but I think it's safe to assume, based on every other violation they had, if the Winn Dixie did have a hot pot, it would have piss in it. I think that's a pretty good assumption to make.
Oh.
I don't know. It seems like maybe you have the fetish, not me.
Uh, that's too funny. Yeah, no, yeah. So, hey, take that as your I don't know, take it how you wanna take it. If you're in Florida, I highly recommend when you go grocery shopping or you wanna get something from a deli or the bakery or something, Publix. It's usually always
Yeah.
fresh and made like the bakery stuff, it's made that day. And if it's not, they usually it's marked on the packaging so you know this
And
is
hopefully
from.
and hopefully there's no cockroaches underneath the oven that they baked it in.
Yeah, no, no. I've never seen a dirty Publix. I've never seen a dirty Publix. So, like I said, they redo them after like 10 years, I think. So
Yeah.
they're constantly they're always working on them. Always. You always see one under construction.
Shrexman said the worst thing ever is when they have old hard cheese and they put it on a sandwich.
Mm.
Don't buy a sandwich from Walmart. I don't know, I kinda think that cockroaches and contaminated meat and butt paste on your sandwich may be worse than old hard cheese. I mean, old
Listen,
hard cheese is disgusting, don't get me wrong, but
Walmart cooked somebody. Okay, I would not go to Walmart
true.
for anything anyway. Like, you
I
got me
forgot about that.
confused if you think I'm buying food from there. They cooked a person during work hours. That's the part that
And no
kills
one
me.
noticed.
It's a gigantic oven that you how did she get locked in? They've already people have made videos that work there explaining how impossible it would have been for her to do that to herself. Okay, and they cooked her during work hours. Like, maybe this I don't know if it was, like, 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, whatever, but the fact of the matter is the store was open, there were people in the store, at least workers were in the store.
I was gonna
Mm.
say, I mean, maybe somebody did it intentionally, but I bet you what it is just poor safety controls that somebody didn't check the oven before turning it on. Because I guarantee the procedure is you put the stuff in the oven and you double check, and I'm sure there's a way to like nobody's in here and let me lock the door. And the person probably just went up and just started the oven and didn't look that like, hey, is somebody in the oven getting stuff out of there?
Well, the story is, I don't know how long ago it was, but there was a woman working in Walmart in the food section, and you know how they have rotisserie chickens? If you ever look at the rotisserie oven that they have, it's big. It's like 6 feet tall or something stupid. They're huge. They're industrial size to make, like, 100 chickens at a time or whatever. So they're ridiculously big, and all I can remember from the specific story is that this woman was found in one. As far as I heard last, they didn't have any security footage of it,
So, well,
and that
so I
seems
just
odd to me too because Walmart has, like, a fucking billion cameras, and they didn't have one to watch their workers that they're constantly bothering all the time. I find that hard to believe too. Like, so much of it seems so fishy. It's just so weird. So weird.
so I just pulled up an article about it, and it
Mhm,
said so this is from November,
mhm.
and oh, okay. So the accident happened in October, and the girl was only 19 years old, and the police ruled out foul play. So they didn't
Bullshit.
say what happened, but they ruled out foul play. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I could totally see that somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they should have checked the oven, and they didn't, and they just went and turned it on.
Well, here's the thing.
Her mom was working there at the same time, and apparently they would talk with they never went more than an hour without talking. So the
Mhm.
mom, she wasn't answering her phone, and the mom's going crazy. So the coworkers thought that she was just helping a customer in the store, but her mom kept getting worried because she wasn't answering her phone. Um, this is horrible. The distressed mother eventually opened the oven door after another staff member noticed leakage coming from the area hours later.
And that's
The girl's
another
mom
thing.
found her.
If you've ever been near a crematory while it's processing someone, it kinda has a distinctive smell to it. When you smell burning flesh, if you've ever burnt yourself bad enough, the smell of burning flesh is such a unique smell in my opinion. We do not smell like pig being cooked. We very much smell different from pig. And, yeah, the whole thing is just so so weird. And if you think about it, anything usually that you can walk into has a door handle or some kind of switch or button or pull or something that you can get back out. Think of any walk-in fridge you've ever been near. Almost always have something, or they're, out of date for safety hazards and place needs to be reported. But I mean, most of the time you have, so the whole thing just sounds so raw. And like I
Yeah.
said, there's no security footage. Bullshit. Bullshit. Walk into any Walmart and every 5 feet, they've got cameras in every direction. They are 360 cameras all over that store, including back behind to watch the workers. And you mean to tell me they didn't have any video of that girl walking in there, shutting that door? Bullshit. Bullshit. Nobody noticed the smell of human flesh coming from an oven that should smell like chicken? Bullshit. Uh, bullshit.
And the lady's looking for her daughter, and someone's like, "Oh, there's some leakage coming from the oven over here." Like, I don't know, that seems kind of weird too that you didn't notice that in the first place. You didn't like it seems like there were a lot of things
I
people would have
mean,
noticed. I know, just I mean, how horrible.
this
How
is
horrible she was only 19 and how horrible her mom's the one who had to open the door and find her there.
I can't imagine.
I,
Although I probably would have turned into like that would have been my villain moment if I were that mother. That
yeah.
absolutely would have turned me into a villain at that moment. I would have slaughtered everyone in the store. No questions asked. And we're
There's
gonna find out who. There's a
yeah.
lot of ways to make somebody's life really miserable without killing them. You could really stretch out that time if you need to. Mm.
Well, see, I wonder how many times do the police really have no clue, so they just say, "Oh, yeah, it was an accident?" Or do they know something happened, but they know that they can't prove it, so that's why you just come out and say it's an accident, but really they know stuff in the background? Because, like so
I
Frank said in the comments, the Domino's by him burnt down at 2 AM and there was someone inside. The police never made public what happened. They did say why he was in there, but it was the guy was supposed to start work the next day at
mhm.
Domino's. His friends worked there. They were all there. So I guess why they were there that late at night, no one knows why they were all there. But he was there with the other guys, and he was like asleep in the hallway or something. So the
Mhm.
other people, though, the Domino's caught on fire. The other two got out, but this guy never got out, and they found him dead in the hallway. And they just made it seem like, oh no, it was just an accident. But like, okay, but how did the other two get out? And this guy didn't get out, and he was the closest to the door.
You know what though? In my opinion, there have been more mysterious deaths though that they could, as far as I'm concerned, they could easily solve if they put any thought
Yeah,
or brain cell power into it. I swear, most of them, I feel like they have like two brain cells, two lone brain cells fighting for fourth place.
yeah,
Like there was that guy that he went with some guys and some they were friendly coworkers or something like that. It was a group of, 4 guys who went out of town together, and the one guy was in a bedroom on the bottom floor by himself. They rented a, B&B or something, and the guy was by himself on the bottom floor in a bedroom, and supposedly, someone broke in, killed this guy, and then left while the other 3 guys were upstairs hanging out, and when the cops got there, they were all freshly showered, freshly changed, and had not heard anything, didn't know anything. They were sleeping when it happened. I'm sorry, what? You mean to tell me they couldn't figure that out? Really? But I'm sure
so
it's an unfortunate circumstance and no one will ever know what happened. Bullshit. This is not Jack the Ripper, my friend. We know exactly what happened.
see, I can actually believe though that if they were upstairs sleeping, that maybe they really didn't hear anything. If someone really did break in and like kill the guy immediately, maybe you wouldn't have heard it. But you're all awake and showering and dressing, and no one like is talking to that dude to be like, "Hey man, are you getting up? Are you ready?" Or right, like
Oh, no,
nobody,
supposedly
like
they
that
called the
dude's just.
cops. No,
Well, no, but
supposedly
I'm
they
saying
called the cops
if
and then took showers.
oh
They took showers before the cops got there.
oh the
So they
cops are
were
coming,
all
gotta
in,
look my
like,
best.
bathrobes and stuff. Yeah, they were in various forms of dress. Like, one guy
Yeah,
was in his bathrobe. One like just got out of the shower and another one was actually already dressed. Like, yeah, super weird. Yeah, tell me. That's sure, for sure. You
Yeah.
didn't hear anything, my dude. Didn't hear anything. Super normal. Shit like that happens all the time. No. Yeah, I feel like a lot of cops are just don't care. I don't know if it's the climate and the fact that people aren't supporting them to do their jobs and they're just getting tired of getting stonewalled and just saying, screw it, I'm not going to worry about it. If they're not worried, I'm not worried.
I think a
Or
lot of it is
we're just,
they just don't have training because if you think the cops solve murders in larger cities,
mhm.
if you live in the middle of nowhere and the biggest crime that you've had for the past 10 years is some dude got drunk and pissed in the hot pot, right? That's the biggest crime that you had in the past 10 years. Now when there's a murder, how do you know what to do? So I think a lot of it is just incompetence
Yeah,
because you don't have the experience, you don't have the training, or if you had the training, you had it so long ago and then you never used it, why would you still know it? And I think that they just make dumb mistakes and contaminate the crime scenes and miss and ruin evidence. Um, Not maliciously, like I said, they just don't know what they're doing. That's my theory, is that the bulk of it is just pure incompetence because they don't deal with crimes. And they're too proud to be like, "Okay, let me put the tape up and call in the state police, the county police, the FBI, call
yeah,
somebody else in," but they don't want to because this is my turf, you know.
true, true. I mean, and then again, that you're right. That has been an issue for a very long time. Casey Anthony, we know
Yeah.
you're not fooling anybody. We know. And those of us in Florida, no. We're not on your side. Ain't nobody on your side. I don't know who told you it was a good idea to go on the internet, but it's not. I mean, hell, this will tell you how bad of an idea it was. Gypsy Rose said you should probably rethink your choices. Gypsy Rose. She's not really doing great herself. Just saying.
Yeah.
She said, we know. We all know. You're not as good as OJ. And we all knew he did it too.
But that's the thing, is you can't always prove it. You may know somebody did it, and
True.
if there's enough reasonable doubt.
True.
And I think that's the thing with Casey Anthony. They just couldn't prove it. They knew she did it. But they just couldn't prove it.
Yeah, I just can't believe she's on TikTok. That's
Yeah.
ballsy. That is so ballsy. I mean, wow. Wow, really? And did you see the video? One of the videos she posted? I'm not on TikTok, but I saw it because it's I mean, it's wild. She actually has a video talking about she's looking for justice for her daughter. She's on here trying to get justice for her
Yes,
daughter.
because but okay, and I watched the Peacock interview with her, but of course I forget what she said. But doesn't she claim that her dad had something to do with it? So if she
She
wants
claims
justice,
it was
she doesn't.
everybody else but her. She's now
Yeah,
blaming her dead father who paid for her lawyer, paid for
that's
her bills and everything. That man took care of her. And now that he's dead and he can't actually, nothing will actually come of her accusations. Now she's blaming him for all kinds of things.
oh, that's
Ma'am,
right. Yeah, when I watched the interview, that's what it was. Is because she claimed that like she came outside or something, and he like had the daughter, and he like she was all wet because she found her in the pool or something. So like she just claims that she came outside and her dad was standing over her dead body and she doesn't know what happened. So she's back to blaming him and that he abused her when she was a kid. So if she's looking for justice, if
mhm.
she already knows who did it, right? If she knows that her dad did it, what justice is there to look for?
We
Hmm,
know. We all
hmm,
know. We weren't buying your
yeah,
bullshit when you came out and said, "I haven't seen her in months on end." Listen.
yeah,
You don't know the nanny's name?
yeah,
Really? Come on. I've been a nanny. I was a nanny for a broke ass family, okay? I was a nanny for a single mother. And I had background checks and everything else. She had all my information. So I'm not buying you
yeah.
handed your kid off, which is like, nah, nah.
And that poor lady, because she used somebody's real name, like it was a real person, and that poor lady, she got dragged through the mud, and she had nothing to do with anything.
Mm.
Like he couldn't just be like the nanny's name was Jane Doe. Like
Mhm. I think it's funny that people keep reporting her accounts, though. I mean, I say continue doing that. Like I said, we all know what she did. Nobody's buying her bullshit. Nobody. I mean, if anybody believes that I've got a bridge to sell you,
yeah, I don't think that anyone believes her.
I don't know. You'd be surprised at the things people believe these days. They're
True, because she probably got marriage proposals.
well, yeah. I'm sure there's some idiots out there because you know she has the correct parts and pieces. But that's really not anything special or anything to write home about.
Yeah.
No, someone wants to use you like a prostitute. Ooh. Why are you
So
not eating until Thursday? It's Sunday. Am I missing something? Are we fast? Why are we fasting until Thursday?
I know last time you said that you lost a bunch of weight and you were gonna fast, but
Oh, that's right. That's
but
right.
but
It seems a bit extreme
you're gonna
though. That's
go
a couple of
yeah,
days.
that's a long time with no food.
I mean, just to put that into perspective, even Lent doesn't count Sundays. Just saying, Sundays don't count on Lent. So if you're participating in Lent and you gave something up, you can participate it on Sundays. Only Sundays. But on Sundays. Sundays don't count. Don't believe me? Count the days.
So we potentially got a comment on Twitch. So if you did comment on Twitch, I'm sorry we can't see it because I just logged into Twitch and I can't see it there, but it shows up in the other screen. So I don't know if we got a comment or not. But if you're watching us on Twitch, we see that you're here. We
Definitely
just
just
can't
a bit.
see if you commented.
Hmm, nice. It is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, did you guys hear that apparently Kanye has I'm kind of really concerned about this man. I'm not even going to lie. I feel like someone needs to check on him and make sure he's okay, as I feel like he's not okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
we
what's
don't need
going
to
on with
check
him.
on him.
He's
We
not
know he's not
okay.
okay.
Yeah, he's not okay. Someone needs to help that guy. There's something going on with him. He's now claiming he's sticking up for Puff Daddy, which I guess is his own choice or whatever. But he's releasing a song with him and his daughter, his minor child. What? Why?
Well, okay, so he says that the Kardashian mafia is preventing him from seeing his kids. And apparently, I don't know if he released the text messages between him and Kim and has something to do with trademarking the daughter's name.
Hmm.
Um, but then Kim's like, you agreed to it, and she gets the trademark when she's 18. It's to protect her or something. And whatever you think about Kim Kardashian as a person, she does seem to be a good parent, or at least hire people to be good parents. She does seem to, try to protect her kids and not just have them out and about running amok.
Yeah. She just
Um,
tried to keep a little bit of aminosity for them, I guess you could say.
yeah. He's
No.
yeah.
I feel like someone needs to check out. At first, it was the first him going off on the speeches, and then
His
and
wife being naked. I mean, Milfman was a fan of the
the
dress, but
Nazis. I mean,
yeah.
I
Britney Spears had a conservatorship. Amanda Bynes had a conservatorship.
maybe
Um,
he should get one.
yeah,
Just a little. I feel like somebody really needs to tell him no. Someone needs to say stop.
yeah.
Like just be like, no,
Well,
stop. Don't
I
even explain.
thought I thought he was bipolar and he was
Mhm,
taking medication for it, but then he
mhm.
didn't like it because it like being an artist, it restricted his creative
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
But I think now he says that he's not bipolar and that was all just, a medical lie. And I forget what he claims that he is, but it's
I
okay if you
feel
need
like
help.
even if he
Okay.
is bipolar, it has to be an extreme case, and he has to be on, like, a continuous manic episode for him to be reacting the way he is. Like, because there is a point in time, even with most medical illness or with most mental illnesses, where you have a small moment of clarity. It could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour, but you will have a small moment of clarity where you kind of realize that you're acting like a nutcase. Um, I feel like he hasn't had those moments. I feel like he doesn't have those moments. I don't think it's necessarily a mental issue so much as he's never been told to stop. People aren't telling him to quit. No one's
Yeah.
telling him no anymore. It's been years since anyone's told him to shut the fuck up. I mean, let's be realistic. When he came out with what was it, College Dropout was his first album, I think. He's been pretty much allowed to do and say whatever he wants. He was a
Yeah.
big thing in the industry, and he still is, and I feel like part of the problem he's having is nobody's told him to shut up. Just zip it, and mean it. They haven't told him and meant it. Like,
Yeah.
'cause, I mean, everyone made fun of when he got up on stage and ruined, Taylor Swift's award moment, but realistically, did anyone actually from the music industry, his peers, did any of them actually come out and say, "I wish you would"? Like, I heard 50 Cent say something in an interview, but I think it was, like, a year or 2 later. Oh, come on. I feel like nobody's telling him to shut up. Someone needs to tell him to shut up. But I guess him losing money is a good way to do it.
It is, but when you still have so much money that losing money doesn't even affect you, right? When you reach a certain level of being rich, you can afford to lose a bunch of money.
That's true.
You're still gonna live a life the rest of us don't.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these people need to be told no, and that's what the problem is.
It is,
Listen, if you're rich and you need someone to tell you no, I'm here for you. I will tell you to shut the fuck up. I will happily tell you no. I will tell you to stop it. I will even bitch slap you if need be. I'm your person. I'll
see,
take that.
no one's gonna tell them no because they don't wanna get cut off the payroll, right?
Can you imagine more ethically? Through morally. Let's say ethically. Can you ethically work for somebody like that? And look at yourself regardless of the money. Can you work for someone like that and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, "Yeah, I'm a good person."
Uh, I could not do a job that I morally disagreed with, but look at how many people in this world have jobs that are just, wow, how do you live with yourself doing that job? Millions of people do jobs like that. High paying jobs, low paying jobs, everything in the middle. There's a lot of jobs that I always wonder, how do you sleep at night? And these people sleep just fine. And I think it's normal people, empathetic people, moral people would never take these jobs in the first place
Mm,
because we know we couldn't live with ourselves if we did it.
no, that's probably true. That's probably true. I'm waiting for a bunch of NDAs to expire for these assistants because, oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But I'd like to remind everyone that NDAs do not cover illegal activities. But I know that's going to be a lot of people's excuses later on is, in an NDA, yeah, that doesn't count trafficking. Does not at all count that, guys.
Most NDAs aren't even valid anyways. They're just counting on the fact that they have more money than you, so you're not going to push it because you can't risk being sued.
Yeah, a lot of contracts are like that actually. Even your
Mhm.
safety waivers for most places, if you sign a safety waiver for anything, yeah, they're usually just bullshit. They
Yep.
can't legally be upheld, especially when it comes to like, I don't know, injuries and things, depending on
Especially
why.
especially when your submersible explodes in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
implodes.
I wonder if we're gonna have one of those happen this year. We gotta get new bingo cards. I need a new bingo card because I've already had some moments where I should have had a bingo card.
So I'm huge true crime fan.
Mhm.
What I am ready for this year is the Idaho college murders. Brian Koberger is going on trial, and it's supposed to start this year. I'm ready for that trial to start. The Delphi murders was the most like that was my top crime that I wanted solved, and they finally solved it. And I'm pretty sure that guy is going on trial this year.
Mhm.
Um, and then what I'm just fascinated about, did you hear about that lady in Boston? I think her name is Karen Reed. Maybe her name's not Karen, something Reed. Her boyfriend, he was either a Boston cop or a Boston firefighter. They went to a friend's house, and it was
Mhm.
in the middle of a snowstorm. So he says, because it was like the way they got invited, it was like a friend of a friend, I think. So he goes, well, let me go to the door and see if they're there. So he gets out of the car and he goes to the door. She's playing on her phone, doing whatever. He's not coming back. So she thinks that he went inside the house. So she's calling him and leaving him voicemails, just screaming at him, like, you piece of shit, or whatever she's saying, all this stuff. Uh, Horrible things. She's screaming, leaving these voicemails. So she finally decides, I'm gonna leave without him because she thinks he's inside without her. So she leaves. So then the next morning, the people at the house call her, or someone, maybe they text her, like, well, why didn't you guys show up last night? And she's like, what are you talking about? We were there, and he went inside, and you guys left me outside. So I left. And she's like, no, you guys didn't show up. So then she goes out with the friends to try to find the dude, and he's dead in a snowbank. Okay? So that's her story, is that, dude, he went inside. I have no clue what happened. They allege that she was drunk and she backed the car into him, accidentally probably, left him there to die, and drove away. But here's what I think is fascinating about it. Who knows what happened? Beats me. Like, sometimes you see a crime and you kind of think like, oh, here's what I think happened. I really don't know, because it does seem likely that she hit him, but refresh the page. Hold on.
Went black again.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, okay, so let me wrap this up. So, people inside the house said um they had like Google searches and stuff, but some of their Google searches that they made at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning were like, how long can you be outside in the cold before you die? Or maybe not that specific, but it would totally was Googling things that make you think you wouldn't have Googled that if you didn't kill the guy and leave him outside. So she went on trial,
Mhm.
and the public is totally supporting her and is like,
What?
what's it called when you like yell at people when you're like trash talking? They're like trash talking the dead guy's family going into court. Like, it's
Mhm.
absolutely bonkers. It ended up in a mistrial. So she's getting the retrial starts like this month or next month, like really soon. And I'm like, I can't wait. This is so fascinating to me. And who knows what's gonna happen, but
What? I hope she
yeah.
goes. That's so nuts. That's crazy. Now,
Yeah.
oh my god. So apparently, if you want to kill somebody, you just gotta say, I don't know, or I didn't do it on purpose, and it's okay. What?
Well, I don't know
Really?
because
She hit him?
well, one expert says, "Oh, his injuries line up with being hit by a car." But then another expert says, "No, no, no, his injuries line up with being like attacked by a dog, as like he was laying dead in the snowbank and a dog came up."
So
So,
here's my question: is who in the hell sends their significant other up to the house that they're going to go party, and it sits in the fucking car and doesn't get out when they don't you know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't make any
well,
sense either.
I think they
That
were
whole
both,
thing's dumb.
even though she was driving, I think they were both drunk.
Yeah.
And even though they were together, like they were one of those couples that like fights all the time.
Mhm.
So
I still find that weird though,
yeah,
because, like, I don't know, maybe it could just be me thinking in a different way, but, like, listen, if I'm drinking and I'm partying and hanging out with my friends, and let's say I'm drinking somewhere else, obviously they were, and then
Yeah.
going to your friend's house to continue drinking and partying or whatever, you're not gonna sit in the car and then leave without ever going into the house, regardless of
Well
whether or not your toxic spouse is in there. If you're going to go party, you're going to go party. I feel like she did it. I
well,
feel like she
I
left
forget,
okay.
though. I forget why he went to the door alone. Like, it seemed like a normal reason that he would've gone to the door alone.
Well, yeah, it's
Um,
snowing out, but
I think, though, I mean, it does make sense, especially if she's drunk, if they're mad at each other and she just thought, "Man, this bastard left me outside. He couldn't even come get me." I could see that she was just mad. It was like, "Screw this, I'm leaving you here. I'm going home." Like, I could see that she would do that.
but even that really doesn't make much of an excuse. I sent him up to the door, so he has to turn around and come get me. I can't walk myself up to
Yeah,
the
I don't
house.
know.
That I feel
But
like these are a lot of bad excuses.
yeah, but
It's like a child lying, you know? You got
it's
better
also
things.
weird. It's also weird, though, because the text messages,
Yeah.
I wonder if I can find them. The text messages from the people who were inside the house, man, it just seems really weird. And why would you send the text messages if you didn't do anything? And I totally forgot because now when I Google this about text messages, there's also a problem with somebody who's one of the police investigating it. The
Mhm.
guy, um, I don't know if he wrote text messages that were bad or if um I don't know, he did something shady that, like, makes you think, like, okay, he like, legally, like, I think he's in trouble, like, he did some things. He sent inappropriate text messages. Oh, I can't find it.
That's just
Like I said, though,
crazy.
if it's just weird to me because the text message has something to do about, like, how long before a body freezes, things like that. Why are these people inside the house randomly Google searching about dead bodies if you didn't have a dead body? I mean, I guess I can't say it's that weird because,
My other question would be,
I've
okay,
told about dead
so
bodies. I'm a true crime fan, but
the next day, I'm talking to my friend and I'm telling him, I'm asking why they didn't come over, and she responds back with, "What are you talking about? He was there." I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my god, you have to come over and help me go find him." I'm gonna be like, "What are you talking about? He genuinely never came here." And if she continues up with it, then I might, with the other people inside the house already, go
yeah.
outside. I'm not gonna wait for her to come over. And how did she not see it walking up to the door? Like, this whole
Well,
thing
how was
seems
she not
shady.
paying attention and see him?
Seems shady.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you said now was the cop like, "Now that you're single, here's a dick pic?" No, but I do think he texted her about, like, I don't know if they kissed or something, but he did text her about being single. He also was texting something about, like, "I hope she just kills herself." Um,
I don't think I could roll my eyes hard enough for that.
I don't know, but there's a dateline about it, but, I don't know. I just think it's just an interesting case because, like I said, a lot of times when you read about a crime, you just think one way or the other, "Here's what happened."
Yeah. I feel like
But
this is another one they're not using full brain power on, they're not using their brain cells on.
yeah.
I feel like it's another one they're killing. They're using their dead brain cells for it. This is not rocket science. That's kind of a bang giveaway.
Yeah.
That could be wrong, but I'm probably not. Just saying.
Like I said, I'm just really curious how this is all gonna play out, especially from what happened with the first trial.
That
Um,
poor guy's family.
yeah.
Man. Well, it's like the psycho that had her boyfriend and her boyfriend's best friend in the car and then ran into a brick wall or something and killed both of them and she survived. She looked nuts in the court case, in the court
That was
proceedings.
that
She looked
young girl,
absolute
right?
yeah, she was like 8
Yes.
barely 18, I think.
Yes, we watched a little thing on that.
She looked crazy. She had crazy eyes. There was
Yes.
no denying that, and her talking was just like, "Yeah, you're nuts.
She
You're crazy."
accelerated through a stop sign and, like, went across the front yard of some, like, business
Mhm.
and drove head on into the building, and I think the boyfriend did die, right? And then the friend in the back seat survived, but I think he had a bunch of injuries. They were giving a
I
guy a
thought he
ride
died
home.
too.
Oh, he might okay. Yeah, I don't remember. She survived, though.
Yeah, she survived, but the other 2, I don't think they did. I think
Yeah,
she convinced them somehow. Like, part of the thing was because it was crazy because she, like, somehow or another, their seatbelts weren't on. She
yeah.
was the only one wearing a seatbelt, and, it I don't
Yeah,
know, the
she was
whole
a
thing just
psycho,
sounded
though.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
as soon as she started talking, holy crap, she
And she
should've
didn't have to talk, her eyes gave it away. She looked
yeah,
crazy. She looked like Jeffrey Dahmer.
yeah. I remember that girl.
Some people just look crazy and, like, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, she was the only survivor. And then Snarksman said, "Remember that lady who killed her 3 kids in the back of the car and went off the bridge into the lake?" You know, I think
That's
that
like a
happens a
similar
lot. There was
thing.
someone right by our house that she, I think she had 2 kids. She drove down the what's it called? The boat ramp? Like, or is that what it's called when you put your boat in the water?
Yeah.
She just, floored it and went down the boat ramp into the water. Um, and they died, and then it was a whole big thing on where the kids are getting buried because the father said, "No, no, no, the kids are not getting buried with her." And then
Yeah.
her whole family was so upset, but it's like, um, I don't care if she was, mother of the year. As soon as you kill your kids, you like all doesn't matter what you did that was good. All that
You've
gets
negated
negated.
anything, yeah, you
And
it's not
who
even like you did it to save him from a worse fate, you did it
yeah.
to be an asshole.
And
Yeah.
you don't bury the victims with their murderer. I mean, that's
Hell
just not
no.
how the world works. But yeah.
I wouldn't have buried her.
Yeah.
I would have been like, "That is not a problem that I need to deal with. Sign him off to the state. Bye, Felicia."
Crazy ones are the most fun. Okay.
Not that
You
kinda crazy,
you
Drug.
have
Not
at
that
that,
kinda
Harold.
crazy. Not that kinda crazy. You need a different kinda crazy. That's the kinda
You
crazy that'll kill you.
you just need the peeing and hot pot kinda crazy. Oh, okay.
Who's down whose street? My street? Your street? What happened
Down
down
the
the
street
street?
down the street from us is the lady who drove in the boat ramp. The next
Ah.
yeah, the next town over, she did
Oh, okay.
that. Mhm.
No. Unfortunately.
Alright, well, it's getting late. As much as
Yeah.
I could talk about true crime forever,
Oh, yeah, it is. It's, 11:40 already. Woohoo. Okay. Well then.
thank you everyone for the lively chat, and thank you, Sir X-Men, for the super chats.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I could leave you with all those great visuals.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, it's too great. It's too great. Well, guys, it has been another interesting and
Yes.
entertaining evening, and we thank you all very much because obviously, without you, this show would not be probably half as entertaining. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's at least, very least. Oh, but well, everyone should probably that have to go to work in the morning should probably get ready for bed.
Yeah, I gotta get up early for work, so unfortunately.
I have a long week ahead of me. It is spring break, so
Mhm.
yay! Good times to be had. Gonna be hell all week here. So
You have a long week ahead of you.
very long, very very long. I am absolutely skipping the beaches this week,
Yeah.
but
Good
uh,
plan.
with all that being said,
Yes.
we'll see you guys later. I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Bye.